feel embarrassed. I feel I don't know what the right word for it is. Frustrated is probably the right word. But embarrassed that if the reports are true, the sense of embarrassment I'll feel for kind of supporting the club, for backing Ten Hag, for believing in this new regime. If Frankie de Jong takes this pay cut, whether you're a fan that was saying it was going to happen or not, that you believed in the process or not, it's just another embarrassing day, a hugely embarrassing day for Manchester United. It really, really is. Manchester United and Chelsea are both facing big embarrassments, big L's, egg on their faces as it stands right now, with two deals with Barcelona at the absolute center of them. You have the Chelsea situation, first of all. Let's just read what Ben Jacobs has said this afternoon. Talking about this deal, that Chelsea, on the other hand, are exerting pressure. They want things resolved by early next week, one way or another. Having thought the deal was done 48 hours ago, Chelsea haven't given up. Lots of noise from Spain because they feel they want Barca, but Barca must satisfy Sevilla. And I think it's very important to remember this. I know a lot of journalists and a lot of people are going to get called out. You said the deal was done. You said that the player would sign. You said that there was an agreement in place. And there's a fair bit of backtracking now from some media. You know, Matt Law, Chelsea have beaten Barca to the player. The Spanish press said Barca pulled away. And then overnight, things changed. Now, we understand that's the fluidity of the transfer market. But from a Chelsea point of view, to have this happen twice with Barcelona, and this time I think it feels even worse because the player agreed, the club, Sevilla agreed. They were just waiting. Everyone's got a different phrase, the green light's being used, but they were essentially waiting for the deal to complete, the paperwork to be signed so they can move on to the medicals. But it was left at the done deal stage. It was left at the agreement stage, not the completion. So there was a real sense of I think there's this sense of shell shock around Chelsea right now that this has been allowed to happen, that this has happened, that this has gone on. And they're not the only club. Manchester United, and I want to look at this as well. The ball is in Frankie's court. If he wants to stay at Barcelona, he'll have to accept the wage cut. If he doesn't, Xavi will be forced to sell. Now, that's the headline, and people will say, well, Terry, that's been the news for the majority of the summer. Why is that any different? But when you read the full quote, when you go through the full story, which I have done, it's even more worrying. When you read the entirety of it, it says that Xavi and Frankie de Jong have had a conversation, and the player is now open to, if not willing to accept, a pay cut to stay at the football club. Now, and I'm saying if these things are true, you know, Chelsea could end up with Jules Koundé, so there's no embarrassment. Man United could end up with Frankie de Jong, so there's no embarrassment. It's less embarrassing if Frankie de Jong stays and he gets paid his salary, gets paid his deferred wages, because at least, you know, that was what Man United were telling the press. That's what Man United have been briefing us, is the situation. It's Man United that briefed the likes of Simon Stone, the likes of Laurie Whitwell. The deferred wages are what are holding things up. It's the deferred wages that are the problem. And when you read this here, that Xavi spoke with de Jong this week and made it clear that he would have to lower his wages by almost half if he wanted to be part of the Barcelona project. According to the locker room sources, both of them left the meeting satisfied. If de Jong ends up taking this pay cut and Man United have chased him all summer, it's so embarrassing. And look, I'm always a man that will stand up and go, I got something wrong, or I believed in something that didn't. It's not my fault if Chelsea literally briefed the media and say we've won the race for the player, and then it falls through. That's on Chelsea. They got their information wrong. The journalists just report on it. And of course, the Football Terrace does videos based on what the journalists say, like all fan channels. But I still don't like it when we do a video about something and then it goes the other way. It's like, really? I can't believe it. But the Chelsea one is more, the club are going to feel embarrassed. They thought they had it. They had it over the line. Chelsea fans may feel embarrassed. But the Man United one with Frankie de Jong, it cuts deep with me because I'm always willing to get behind my club. I'm always willing to say, okay, you're telling us you're going to do something. This is how I am as a person. If you say to me, right, I've changed, I'm going to be a different person now, I'll give you a chance to prove it. Now, at Man United, we've got a different group of people running the club. We've got a different manager, different processes. I will give you the benefit of the doubt until you prove me wrong. That's my nature. Some people sit in the other direction. Some people are just consistently negative. I just can't do that. It's not my way. I joke around by calling them mushrooms. It's all a bit of banter. It doesn't really mean anything. But I'm embarrassed if this is true. If Frankie de Jong ends up taking a pay cut after he is clearly told Man United that he's interested in joining and he's not going to take a pay cut, if we've continued to push for him and then he does this, it's absolutely peak for Man United. And every single bit of banter that the club takes is banged to rights. The club are an absolute joke if this happens. And that's if this happens. Him staying and keeping his wages isn't a problem because it was always they're going to force him out. And if he's forced out, he'd join Man United. He'd be happy to. But if Barca said to him, listen, we want to make you part of our first team and we're willing to pay these wages, he would have always stayed. We knew this. There's no embarrassment in that per se. But it's Man United getting it wrong. And I'll have the same energy for Ten Hag, the same energy for Richard Arnold, the same energy for John Murtough as I did for Ed Woodward. When they chased 2 summers ago, Jadon Sancho, and they took the wrong advice. And the advice they were given didn't pan out. Leave it to the last week. There was no real deadline. Put this bid in the last week and you'll get Sancho. And it didn't work. That's the embarrassment. Now, I'm always someone that, as I've said, will put faith in someone changing or new people doing different things. But if this is to happen, as I've said, I'll feel embarrassed. And it will, without doubt, leave a bitter, bitter taste in my mouth because I want to get behind them. But actions speak louder than words. And if our pursuit of de Jong ends with him staying at Barcelona and taking a 50% wage cut, Man United have been absolutely done, bent over a barrel, used, and they've embarrassed us once again. And if it happens, I'll hold my hands up and say, listen, I'm sorry. I'll hold my hands up and say, I'm sorry. But how this has changed in the last day or two, with Man United not being aware of it. And if we were aware of it, why haven't we moved on to another target already? These are the questions that will be asked without a shadow of a doubt. But as I say, another embarrassing moment for Manchester United, painful moment for Manchester United, and one that, I'll be honest with you, I'm just feeling, I don't even know what the right word for it is. I just feel, I don't know, crap. Legitimately crap. I just do. Take care, people. Today's show is sponsored by Private Internet Access. And this is something I use on my personal computers, work computers, and on my devices. Whenever you're using an open network for internet, whether at a cafe, whether you're at the airport, shopping center, wherever that may be, you need to encrypt yourself and ensure that your personal data is being protected at all times. Private internet access is available all around the world. And as I've mentioned, you can use it on your smartphone, your smart TV, laptops, iMacs, whatever it is that you use. This also gives you the availability to access content worldwide. So when you're traveling, it doesn't matter if you want to use your Netflix, the iPlayer, YouTube, wherever you are in the world, the VPN via private internet access gives you the ability to do so. Now, what the Football Terrace can do for you is give you an 82% discount on this product, plus 3 months free. All you need to do is click on the link in the description or scan the QR code on your screen during this video to sign up now.